So yeah, hello, welcome everybody to Shadowrun Paris. This is the very first solo session that I am running, and I am running it for everyone's favorite vampire, because only vampire in the party, Mr. Vladimir, also known as Babylon. And I'm going to try and run these solo sessions for all people that are comfortable with them, because as West Marches goes as a play format, it's very difficult for me to properly implement personal story hooks in every single mission, because I'm not always certain which characters are actually going to be involved in the mission. So these personal solo sessions, and probably also sessions maybe at some point with one or two other players, are a way for us to explore the personal storylines of the characters involved. Now, Donovan, what is Vladimir trying to accomplish? And
Vladimir is trying to find the sketchiest talismonger in all of Paris. The type that would actually be completely okay with doing blood magic tattoos.
yeah, he's gonna get some. He asked me if he could get some blood magic tattoos, and I said, yeah, if you can find someone who does it. So he told me that the way you were going to go about this was that you were going to go to the Mall of Magic in beautiful, beautiful Ivry-sur-Seine, and that is exactly where you are right now. See, I heard myself there. There was something weird going on. I have to figure out if this is an OBS issue or something.
It's not. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I might worry about it at some point in the future. All that being said, you are in the in the Mall of Magic in beautiful, beautiful Ivry-sur-Seine, and this is actually a mall. It's not a particularly large mall, but it is. I mean, it's a European-sized mall. It's got 2 floors. It's got like the stairs that move automatically. It's got the gallery, all that shit. It's not the standard white on beige type mall. It's got vines going throughout the whole thing, and with sort of fruits that are glowing orbs on those vines, illuminating the whole place in like a misty, magicy light. There are crows flying all over the place, and just crows that are sitting down on trees, small indoor trees, some of which are bonsais, in front of like a store that sells Japanese magical implements. And there are many stores that sell very many different magical things. If you're a mage, you're a wizard of some kind, any kind of spellcaster, if you're a shaman, you're a hermetic, you're an adept, you will find something that interests you here. Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go and try to find either the most weaponized looking shop, or a shop of a straight up magic tattoo artist.
There is actually a shop that does magical tattoos. It advertises itself as a magical tattoo studio, and has things written in letters of a script that you do not know. The tattoo artist is a big old orc, and it's in between a sort of druidic European witchcraft store, and a thing that fashions itself to be like an Egyptian thing, but clearly, as far as you can see, nothing of value is sold there. It's all just bullshit talismonging for tourists. But yeah, this tattoo studio is actually not as grungy as you might expect an orcish tattoo studio to be. It's quite clean. It has this sort of smell of burnt skin that is this disgusting smell that tattoo studios tend to have, that I do not like at all. Yeah, the tattoo artist is this fairly large troll with small hands. There are a few customers in there, but it's pretty okay.
Okay. I'll enter there and ask about like what kind of traditions are they going by, what kind of services they are offering.
Okay. Well, you should probably ask the receptionist of the place.
Yeah.
She's a young orc lady that looks very similar to the orc man, so probably you just presume that they're related in some manner. So go ahead and ask her. I'd prefer to do all of this in character, if
Yes,
you don't
yes.
mind.
If I may ask, what type of tattoos are you exactly able to apply? What is the degree of the craft?
Well, he is probably the best tattoo artist in all of France when it comes to magical tattoos. I mean, of course, he also has very good regular tattoo skills, but I mean, it's pretty much all schools of magic, all types. If you can bring blueprints, it's all possible. It's all possible. It might take a while to schedule an appointment. It's very popular, but it is worth the money.
What about the privacy and discreetness of the service?
Well, we could put up a screen if you want before the tattoo booth. Some people want it with tattoos in intimate areas.
Regarding your magic tattoos, what if I am not looking for a mere enchantment, but something a little bit more weaponized, more exotic?
Like something to augment fire magic or something like that. Very
Yes. Something like that, yes, something similar to that.
Well, excusez-moi, monsieur, you're going to have to be a little more specific than this.
I prefer the specifics to go over with the artist.
Well, of course, you'll have to wait a little bit. It should be done in. I don't know. She says she asks in French, shouts to her relation in some point, how long he will be, and he responds like about 15 minutes to be done with his customer. Please return in 15 minutes, maybe 15-20 minutes. Then he will be available. You can ask him. It's no problem, no problem.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Is there anything you wish to do?
I'm just gonna wait until I can speak to the artist directly.
Uh-huh. As you sit down, there is a dwarf. It's a dwarf, a pretty old dwarf, with an extremely white beard. This bloke, he looks. He's got white robes on, and he's got an ankh around his neck, and you're pretty sure this is some sort of very like a do-gooder, because he looks at you very, very suspiciously as you sit down next to him in the waiting area.
Let's see. Would I be able to do a learning roll with some advantage to see if he's a member of any law enforcement? Because I have the etiquette for law enforcement.
Oh yeah, of course. Then give yourself advantage 1 on that.
Okay. How unfortunate.
You stare at him quite intensely, a little too intensely. He's wearing, it's not really a toga, but it's like a flowing white dress. There's the golden ankh around his neck. He does seem to have like a whole rack of wands on a belt, and he has this some very, very small jewelry in his very white beard. And because you stared at him so absent-mindedly, he tries. he finds your eye contact, which, by the way, you're pretty sure this is not a cop.
I'm still wearing my goggles, thankfully.
Yeah, very thankfully. He looks at you, says, "What? What are you looking at?"
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Simply a drifting of my eyes.
Are you saying I am nothing? Tall man, huh? Are you saying I am nothing? I am not nothing. I will have you know I am very powerful.
Is that so? Would you care to perform a demonstration?
I'm not a circus clown.
Oh, please, I'm actually curious. Tell me, what kind of power do you wield?
Well, if you really must know, I am a... Well, it's a bit difficult to describe. I'm not exactly hermetic, but I am not exactly a shaman either. I am hermetic that works with the great mentor spirit, the greatest mentor spirit of them all, the Mother of Justice.
It is at this point that I mentally say the words, FUCK!
Now, you're still pretty sure that this man is not a cop.
No, he's worse. He's a straight up individual who hunts evil. And with my body count, oh boy.
So yeah, he looks at you very expectantly, as if he's expecting you to respond in some manner.
Very impressive. What kind of powers does the Great Mother bestow upon you?
Well,
I'm very curious.
The holy light. It is mostly the holy light. Do you know what the holy light is?
I can have a vague idea.
Yes. It is a light that purifies. It casts away demons and cleans the soul of evil. It is very, very powerful. And no hermetic could possibly create such power. Only through the Mother am I capable of doing what I do.
And who is this mother to define what is evil so casually?
She is the Mother. It is evil what hurts her children, not?
I don't believe that the philosophy of the world is such simplicity.
That is
After
not...
all,
Yes, I'm sorry very much for interrupting you. Please do continue.
I do believe that such simplistic ideas of good and bad are too common today. Honestly speaking, I prefer more to see the world as a natural hierarchy. What is a greater symbol of that than the great dragons that, in a way, rule us all?
The great dragons are not evil. The great dragons are creatures of good. Even though they sometimes do not behave from it. Even angels can fall from grace, do you not think? Of course, it is not quite as simple as good and evil. I do not believe that the Great Mother knows what is good and what is evil. But she defines as evil the things that would harm her children.
So it is surely suffering that you define as evil.
Not necessarily. There is suffering that is justified. Evil people suffering, absolutely justified.
And let me guess, at the end of the day, whose evil is decided by you?
No, it
After
is
all,
decided by the Mother, not me.
but who is really to say? It's like every religion out there. In the end, it is the priest who points the finger at the guilty to be burnt down at the stake.
Well, my friend, I am not a priest. I am merely a shaman.
You literally claim to have the voice of a god, a totem, speak to you and guide you. No difference at all. You're no different than the fools at the start of the century that were gonna start petty wars against young meta-humanity when it has emerged. You'd be no different than the foolish Catholics that were prosecuting the mages when they emerged when magic returned. All the same, different face, hunting a different perceived enemy.
We will have to agree to disagree there, my friend.
I believe so.
The tattoo artist calls you over. He's got a frown on his face. This doesn't seem to be a very, very common occurrence, but it's apparently not odd enough that he would say no to speaking to a customer directly.
Thank you very much. I apologize for wasting your time, but would it be possible for us to have a short conversation in private? I promise to make it worth your time.
He looks a bit... He's not entirely sure. Give me a persuasion
I'll
roll.
take... No. Instead, I will take out my cred chip, and I will throw him a chip with 100 nuyen on it, and I will say, I promise to make it worth your time.
Okay, make a persuasion roll with advantage 3. Very well. Okay. I will listen to you. He gestures you to the back room, which is an office. And the office, even though the tattoo studio itself isn't really, doesn't really have much of a grungy orc decor in the first place, this back room just literally looks like a generic office, with drawers and like a white desk, computer. Everything is very clean. There's a bunch of tattoo designs and magical formulas on whiteboards on the walls. A lot of like a huge bookshelf full of books on hermetic magic and magical tattoos and tattoo totems and all that. And he gestures you to sit on like a wooden office chair and sits down in front of you. So, what is the thing?
It requires some very special work done. Very exotic, very unique. Needs to be done discreetly. And I hope that you are the kind of artist that can perform work quietly without questioning the design or its purpose. If you believe that you can do this, and that you can keep the service discreet, I promise to be a consistent return customer. If you cannot, then I shall offer to pay for information to receive someone who can.
He looks at you very intently and says, Could you show me what you want done? The tattoo, like a blueprint, maybe something like that. A picture of what exactly you wish tattooed on there.
So I will. I'll basically make. I'll take my glove. I'll take off a little bit of my glove just to have my pinky finger appear there. I'll prick it a little bit, and I'll draw a small blood rune of the Aztec god of war on the table with my own blood. And I shall ask, would a service of this kind be possible?
The tattoo artist reaches over his desk. He rolls over to the desk, reaches into a little box, little square box that has salt in it, and puts that salt on the rune you just drew on the table. Fish the pute blood mage! Get out of my store before I call the fucking police!
A disappointment.
I will disappoint you, fish the pute! Get out of the store, sanguimoncer!
This is okay. Give me a single moment.
Okay.
Let's see. The timelines converge here. Either I get the fuck out, or I kill him.
What is there to gain from killing him?
Just my character's personality. Quite literally.
Okay. Well,
Let's roll a 1d100.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this is the point where you as the DM go, oh, this is gonna go very badly for everyone involved.
Probably, yes.
Okay, boys, above a 70, and I killed him.
You sound disappointed.
I kind of wanted to see how good this tattoo artist is.
Yeah,
Oh well, I get the fuck out.
he moves over to the door and opens it for you. And gestures for you to leave.
I'll quickly erase the rune, get the fuck out, and go to the closest.
As you walk out, he shouts after you. Fucking Songwimancer, get the fuck out of my store! Get the fuck out of Paris!
Motherfucker! I swear!
Yeah.
It's time to invoke the invisibility boon and get the fuck out!
The dwarf you were sitting next to jumps to his waddly little feet and asks, "Quoi?" And then they exchange. You do
focus action, invisibility. Get the fuck out.
You do speak French, right?
I'm invisible. I'm getting the fuck out.
Wait, how did you roll twice?
I didn't roll twice. Oh fuck! I rolled only once. Pressed the button twice accidentally.
Yeah,
then I failed.
The first one was a 5. You failed that one.
Okay, yep. So I'm just gonna tell the dwarf.
The dwarf is not done yet. Do you speak French?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so he's asking the orc what's going on, and the orc, you know, calls you a fucking sanguimancer. Yeah.
How unfortunate. Okay, let's see. What would be a good bullshit line? What would be a good bullshit line in this situation? Let's see. Let's have a thinking. I will tell the dwarf. This fucking man is an idiot. I give him a price for a private conversation, and all he wants is to bribe me even more, telling whatever lie he can to take more money from me. Not an honest business at all. This fucking place.
Roll me a persuasion.
Oh,
yeah, deception. Deception is also fine.
Yeah, that shit fails.
The dwarf looks at you and smirks, and he shouts at the tattoo artist guy, and says, "Come on, you don't see what this guy actually is?" And the tattoo artist says, "No, I don't know." And the dwarf asks, "Well, has it never occurred to you that maybe the police might send people here to check if you don't maybe do some fucking weird blood magic type of shit?" And the tattoo artist spits on the ground and says, "No, that has never happened. That is never going to happen. Do call the mall cops." Daughter.
And that's the point where I'm gonna scream at the dwarf, "Don't break my fucking cover!"
Sorry, I apologize, monsieur, of course, no. But I would get the fuck out of here now.
I'm getting the fuck out of there. To the nearest public bathroom.
So yeah, the kerfuffle has alerted some of the people here. In the mall, they look over. They're all mages of the most different sorts. Many of them actually have these like very old school, these classical mage robes that are walking around. There's a group of Chinese tourists photographing everything in this mall of magic with their comlinks. And they.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run into a public bathroom and tell me the moment I'm there.
Okay, you walk into a public bathroom. Two of these tourists are actually taking photos of you as you walk. Some people turn around, but it doesn't seem to be that interesting what's going on.
I'm gonna run in there, and as one of my vampiric abilities, I will use form theft, which will allow me to change my form into the shape of one of my past victims.
Okay.
Yep. I'm gonna do it as a focused action while I'm in the stall. Fucking Christ.
Um,
Let's see. Theoretically, I can try every 6 seconds.
no, I don't. This is no. That will sort of break the thing.
Not
You
out of
do-
combat.
You do change your face slightly, but it's weird. Your face just looks weird now. Even with the goggles and all that, it's like a half-baked transformation. People won't recognize you as the bloke who walked into the stall a moment ago, but they will certainly see that you are weird in some capacity.
God damn. I really should have read the aura of that evil fucking dwarf. I shouldn't have I? Yeah. Okay, let's get out of there and let's try to get out of the mall without getting killed. Let's see how that works.
So you are on the second floor of the mall, which there is no exit on the second floors, and you're not exactly in the middle, but you are about, let's say, 30 meters from the escalator down, and then another 10 meters from the actual door. Approaching you from that direction are three men in security garb who are looking around people, and you seem to catch the eye of one of them. And he calls you out and says, "Stop right there!"
I'll stop and turn around. Yes? What can I help you with?
Have you seen a blood mage? A sanguimoncer?
There's a fucking blood mage here?
Apparently there is.
What? No, I don't think I have. What do those even look like?
His buddy whispers something in his ear, and he says, "Well, I think they kind of look like you."
I will say, just because someone bashed my face in when I was young doesn't make me a blood mage. You fucking piece of shit.
This is a security guard you're antagonizing.
I am.
He seems both amused and irate at this reaction. Make a presence roll.
It's not gonna work.
I don't care if you're a fucking blood mage or not. You're definitely not going to be in the fucking mall anymore.
That kind of service, I don't wanna fucking be here.
He takes a picture of your face with his camera, and then he grabs you by the arm, says, "I'm throwing you out right now. You are forever banned from being here."
Isn't it lovely to be at least polymorphed into a partially different form?
The dwarf is still in the tattoo shop as you know he walks out a little bit, and he looks over to you and frowns because he does recognize your clothing, but definitely this is not your face. But as he is thinking about whether or not you've changed your face in some manner, and why you would change it to something this absurdly absurd and grotesque, the security guards basically drag you off, get you down the escalator, and throw you out of the Mall of Magic.
It's time to find that fucking dwarf. Okay, I shall wait outside, see if that dwarf exits the location. I shall attempt to kind of, first of all, find a private location and just kind of bring my face back. Let's see, what would be more efficient? Having a different face or being invisible? Okay, All of this is occurring at nighttime, yes?
I did not particularly think so, no. It's like afternoon.
Then I would be also wearing this fucking poncho to make sure the sun doesn't touch me for obvious reasons.
Yeah. Well, it's cloudy, you know. It's Paris in December. It's cloudy.
It's sunlight. It's sunlight. Let's hope for the best. Okay, I'm gonna try to. Would I after how many? I'm gonna stay there for about like 2-3 hours. See what happens.
As you sit around where you sit around.
I'll find like some kind of bench. I will literally do the guy reading a newspaper thing.
Okay.
Except instead of a newspaper, I will just be pretending to stare at my not info link, data link. Yeah, because I think an info link is actually a cybernetic.
It
link,
might
though.
be.
Yeah, it is. I think that it's 100% a cybernetic, and that a data link is like the phone version of the Shadowrun verse, if I'm not mistaken.
But you're like old school.
Or just a mage. No mage can have it, basically.
Give me a perception roll. You're not rolling particularly well.
No. You see, sometimes individuals simply fail. That's how it works.
Somebody walks out of the mall that you recognize to be this exact dwarf. He's got like a big old coat on, also white, but it's definitely the dwarf.
I shall attempt to create a telepathic bond with him.
Okay.
Would you allow me to do it as a focused action?
No, it's pretty spur of the moment, isn't it?
It is. I shall do then the polite thing and start to follow him.
Okay. You don't.
Surely, this I'm not even gonna hide it. I'm just gonna like if the moment that he notices, I'm just gonna wave.
So yeah.
Surely this won't end badly at all.
He walks through Paris, through Ivry-sur-Seine. He walks past a couple more magic shops that are outside of the wall. He crosses the street and he sits down on a bench.
I'll sit down next to him.
Yeah, this isn't the guy.
Fuck.
You've confused the guy with someone else. You thought you were seeing the dwarf walking out of the mall, but it wasn't really him. This is a completely different dwarf. He's got a third eye on his It's not really a third eye made of flesh, but it's so strong on the astral on his forehead that you can almost perceive it in the real world as though it were there.
Let's see. I shall try to do the thing that I should have done in the beginning. This I do pass, and that is the sorry, not the precognition, the detection.
Yes.
The detection boon to essentially kind of try to detect other blood mages and auras in general.
Well, definitely the guy who's sitting next to you is a mage. There's a huge amount of mages all around. It's incredibly almost confusing that you're seeing on the astral. The whole of Ivry-sur-Seine is very, very magically charged. As of all the magic going on, you see in every single room, you see there is every single window there is some residue of some magic, some colors that don't even really exist, There's entire buildings that aren't there, and entire buildings that are there in the middle of the street on the Astral here. And pretty much everyone who walks past is a fucking mage. But
does any of them have the specific aura type that I'm looking for?
No, they do not. But you can give me a perception roll. No, actually, prescience. Prescience would be best.
Okay.
You do notice that there is something off about the crows that are still around you. They seem to they look at you. You can see how they look at you through the astral plane, and you're not sure, but they appear to be linked somehow.
I shall attempt to communicate with the crows.
Okay. Okay.
At least I succeed to communicate with the crows. Wait, I think. Let me check.
Do you?
Pretty sure I do, unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, I do. No, I don't. Fuck. I do not. So close.
You try to communicate with these crows, but there's a sort of backlash. Your mind is stretched out to them, and then it flicks back, and it just bashes right into your head, and you take 1d4 damage. As you have a pretty bad headache now. A voice next to you, a female voice, right where this old dwarf that you've been following was sitting, says, "You should really be more careful in hiding your true identity."
Did the voice just appear out of the air, essentially?
No, the old dwarf that had been sitting next to you is now suddenly this female dwarf with a crow on her head. This dark-skinned female dwarf. She doesn't see through her eyes. There's a headband in front of her eyes, and you can perceive quite clearly now that all the crows are actually linked to her.
And I will simply tell her, the wolf does not fear the sheep.
The wolf should fear the dogs. That is what the dogs are for.
The dogs are blind and foolish, and are distracted by the scent of blood.
A blood mage smells of blood, does he not?
Not if all of it is gone.
She laughs. She seems quite amused by this. Listen, I see everything, and I hear everything that goes on in that mall. And I specialize in providing a certain service to people.
What would be the extent and the price of the service?
The price you would not have to pay. I am an agent of sorts. I bring people into contact with people they might find useful. Customers, you being a customer in this case. I will bring you into contact with someone who can help in your particular situation.
That would be very useful. Yes.
She hands you a little card, a little black card with an address stamped into it, fairly nearby here in Ivry-sur-Seine, and says, "Do try to get in, but you can only do so if you are worthy, as it were. Tell him that Tropo sent you, eh?"
Thank you very much. I shall remember this kindness in the future.
Don't bother. This is what I do for a living.
I shall leave and go to the address.
Yes. Give me another perception roll. As you turn, you find that next to you is still sitting the old dwarf, and not this beautiful black dwarven woman that has just clearly given you this card.
Someone is very capable at illusions, it seems.
It does seem so. Okay, what do you do?
I'll go to the address.
Very good, very good. Can I please delete this? Very good.
Honestly speaking, we were like a hairbreadth away from combat in the mall. I wonder how that would have turned up.
Probably not too good.
I think that is the correct conclusion, yes.
Yeah, this leads you into a residential area with some very, very old, very, very tall buildings and very narrow streets. Through a couple of alleyways where, punks look at you weird, and there's also, you can see a bunch of incorporeal spirits that observe you as you go through these alleyways, but make me a presence roll. Nobody bothers you as you walk through here. They all see that you're clearly trouble, and it's probably not a good idea to fuck around with you. You finally end up in like a very, very small plaza. It's maybe 5 by 5 meters, surrounded by more of a pedestrian path. You don't see how you would go through here with a car, maybe a motorcycle, probably. And there are very, very tall buildings around in like a very, very old French colonial style. Not colonial, just French style, the way they were built in the 1920s. Very filigree artwork. Pretty not. They're not particularly in good shape. And
dilapidated.
Well, yes, exactly. They're quite dilapidated, and some of them have boarded up windows. There's a jazz music coming out of one of the windows in the top floor, and in the middle of this plaza is a pond. It's sort of like a it's not too large. It's like maybe 2 by 2 meters, and at the end of that pond is a large Adonis statue with incredibly tough musculature, made of marble.
So happy to see that postmodernism didn't seep into every crevice of the city.
Political commentary.
Nah, it's just Babylon being a complete cunt, the way he was meant to be.
So yeah, this is the address. It's not one of the houses around, it's the fountain is the address.
I shall look to the statue, and I shall attempt to kind of see if I can feel any auras.
So you mean you perceive on the astral plane?
Yeah.
Roll me prescience.
Yep. The DC 10 is too hard.
It really is. It's quite difficult to fail at perceiving the astral plane if you're a mage.
It is.
But today just doesn't seem to be your day, and you take another d6 as damage. 1d6.
Make all of this damage lethal. Make it lethal so it actually counts for something.
Oh yeah, it is. It is.
It is.
It's very, very, very difficult. It's very straining to concentrate for some reason. It might just be the sunlight. You're out during the day. It's not particularly good. It might just, it's so heavy. The astral is so heavy. It's so difficult to open your eyes. It's like if you're in deep sleep and you're trying to wake up, and it's so difficult, and it's so fucking straining, and your head is like on fire. But you do finally perceive on the astral plane. And you do take 11 points of damage.
Beautiful.
as your brain is wrecked by this. And you see that the Adonis statue has a very large variety of tattoos on it. And they seem to be on different layers in different colors. It's like he's tattooed from head to toe in different colors, but you can't perceive more than one of these colors at the same time. With a slight bit of concentration, you can sort of scroll through them.
Yeah. Are any of the symbols something that I would be looking for?
Yes, they are. The layer of tattoos that is completely red. It's got a lot of ancient Babylonian, Atlana, some very, very dark Chinese tattoos that are clearly blood magic.
I'm finally at the right place. Let us try to do something dangerous. Why not? Let's try to create a telepathic link with the statue. Surely this can't end badly.
Okay.
Actually worked.
This is a statue. It does not have a consciousness.
One has to try.
Yeah.
You never know with magic. You never know. I shall try to observe the rest of the environment, see if there are any signs of life, anyone observing the location.
There is there are a number of crows on the rooftops that are looking at you. There's a homeless guy sleeping, or maybe he's just passed out from alcohol. Who really knows? In some distant corner. Well, it's not too distant corner. It's like 10 meters away from you. He hasn't noticed you. He's sleeping facing the wall in a place that is a rat just jumped off him and ran into the sewers. There's still the jazz music playing, though a new song has started, and you're not entirely sure if this comes from some sort of recorder or is actually somebody playing the saxophone, or like a small band. The audio is too distorted through the astral plane somehow for that. You do recognize on some of the boarded windows that there are runes of blood magic variety, but they are on completely disparate windows in this sort of on this plaza. And there are also runes for other dark forms of magic that you do recognize around the place. Also, give me a perception roll. Yeah, and that's pretty much it.
Let's do the thing that is not dangerous at all and explore the buildings.
Okay. Do you want to go to the building to your west, north, east, or south?
I shall try to go to one of those with some blood magic symbols on them.
Oh, all of them have them.
The north it is.
Okay, the northern building, the door. Give me a might check. The door is very easy to push in for you. It doesn't seem particularly strongly fastened. It's very loud, but the homeless guy doesn't seem to mind. And you enter a dusty old hallway with a stairway with a stairwell that is. It's not completely dusted. The stairway, there's not dust on everywhere, but like the middle rung of the middle of the steps is fairly.
There's something I need to do actually. I need to focus on the homeless guy for a moment.
Okay.
Nope.
No, he's a homeless guy, from all you can see.
You never know when the homeless guy is magic.
Yeah, this is
Let's explore the building.
Okay, where do you want to go?
I'll just systematically walk through there, look for any signs of life.
Well, where do you go first?
First floor, then second, third.
So you do go up the stairs.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, you go up the stairs, come to the first floor, and it's not like a hotel. So basically, you have like on the ground floor, you had a door to your left and a door to your right, and you go upstairs, and it's the same thing. And then just the stair loops up again. There's no long corridor. It's just access to two different apartments. On the first floor, the door to one apartment is non-existent, and the door to the other apartment is it has some sort of Chinese characters on it, and there's a strange smell coming out of it, and there's a sort of, you know, the orc music.
Yes.
That's what's coming out of it.
Would you allow me a logic roll to see if it's wise to try and open that door?
Of course.
No, actually, that's not even a logic roll. There's just gonna roll danger sense to see if my following action of opening the door is dumb.
Which boon are you invoking here?
Precognition, the first rank.
You though your blood isn't entirely boiling, it is inconspicuously not boiling to a degree that suggests that there is nothing of interest on the other side of this door.
Wonderful. Let's keep going elsewhere.
Yeah, where?
I'll continue going up until I reach the roof, checking the apartments as I go up.
Upstairs, once again, two doors. One to the left, one to the right. One of them is standing open, the other one is closed. It's very cold on this level.
Let's explore the apartments, or at least attempt to.
Which one do you want to go in first?
Let's go with the right one first.
Okay, you go through, and it's half of the things that would be in a home in here, like the couch, the refrigerator, some of the chairs. There's only one chair missing, and that one has like a broken leg, and is lying on the floor. Like television set is gone, but the other half, like a microwave, a computer, which to be fair has been cannibalized, and really quite a lot of cleaning equipment is still here.
Someone's been doing work.
Well, the cleaning equipment is a bit dusty, so probably not. This
Not
place
really.
looks very abandoned.
Let's go to the second one.
Okay, you open this one, the door is locked.
I shall knock.
Nobody answers.
I shall knock again. Louder.
Roll me perception. You do not hear any life forms on the other side of this door. There is nobody breathing, there is not even rats scuttling.
Let us continue to the next floor.
Okay. There are...
no, fuck it. We continue to the next floor.
This is the third floor. This would be, yeah. Once the door to your right is closed, it's has like the upper half of it is made out of glass. It's a different door, and then the other doors, it's like a milk glass type thing. And it says on the door that the Trudeau family lives here. And there are, you hear the sound of children on the other side playing, and a mother shouting something in French. The other side, it says Laurent Fournier, and there are no signs. You don't hear anything from that door.
Okay, I shall continue to the roof, and I shall choose not to turn this into a very, very dark situation.
Well, can't go on the roof. It's not that type of building. You can go to the
Oh,
top floor.
okay. So let's go to the top floor.
Okay. This is like the floor where fuck, where where you're in the roof basically.
Hmm.
When they go down. I don't know if you have those in Israel, but we certainly do have those in
Yeah, I know what type of door. The ones that are like kind of like
the slanted roofs.
yeah, like a triangle.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah, I mean, they're very often there's apartments up there.
yeah, it's kind of like an attic, but it's not an attic.
Yeah, I used to live in one of those. It's absolutely beautiful. The door to the right is like a heavy metal door that says staff, maintenance staff, really. But the maintenance part of it is half ripped off. And the door to the other side has a laminated image of a washing machine on it.
Let's try to open the door that says staff.
It's locked.
The struggle, let's see, how difficult would it be to lockpick something with an improvised roll? With improvised tools, I mean.
What tools would you improvise?
I'll create a little, kind of little blood siphon into the lock, trying to completely break the mechanics.
Well, you could then do it with basically your. Do you have creation?
I do not have creation, but I do have entropy.
Do you have alteration?
Yes, a little bit.
Then use alteration for that. Yeah, the blood fills this little lock and knocks down all the cylinders. It's quite easy. Then you turn your hand and click the deadbolt unbolts, and you can now open the door.
Okay, let's see what's inside.
There's a great many janitor uniforms. Really, many more janitor uniforms on a rack than should probably be needed for a house like this. There is a water boiler that seems to have seen better days. There is an electric transformer box, and there's a very old one of those what's the word? It's like a box with a lot of cables in it that we use in right now for the internet that is sometimes in buildings. Yeah.
Let's see.
And that one obviously isn't in use anymore because there is no internet anymore.
I shall be an entrepreneuring individual. Do any of the janitorial clothing fit me? If yes,
yeah.
If yes, then I shall steal one, and I shall put it into my briefcase.
Okay.
And then I'll go down the stairs, and I shall explore one of the other buildings. I shall take the one to the west.
As you walk, the crows have sat down on the statue of the Adonis figure.
Okay.
They're still looking at you.
I will kind of point my finger into the air, and then I will point it at each building at a time, and then point it back at the crows.
They do nothing. They just look at you.
I shall flash the crows a cred chip.
One of the crows tips onto the figure, onto the Adonis statue with its beak. And another of the crows flies over to the homeless man and lands there.
Goddamn magical homeless people! It was the homeless person all along, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Let's see. Do the crows do anything beyond that?
No, they just look at you. They seem a little bit amused at your helpless flailing.
I will quite literally tell them, at least you're having fun.
They caw as though laughing.
I don't know what you want me to show you, but I don't know. At least give me a direction, friend. I know you can see and hear. Oh right, I should probably say that I was. For fuck's sakes, I'm a retard. I should have told him that the one that sent me here introduced me. What was her name?
Make a learning roll.
And this is why you write these things down.
Trompeau. Her name was Trompeau.
So I will say that I was basically introduced to this place by Trompeau.
The water in front of the statue stirs, but nothing happens.
I was said that I shall be allowed a certain service if I am worthy. I don't mind the test.
Nothing happens.
Let's look into the water.
It looks... Give me perception. You're not sure. You're not exactly sure, but it does look. It might be just like a few centimeters, and the stone is black, but also it might be incredibly deep.
Let's try to push my hand into the water.
It's incredibly deep.
Let's do something dumb. Let's go into the pond. Let's do something stupid. Come on, let's go. I will leave my briefcase behind and I will jump into the water.
Okay.
Surely nothing dumb will happen here. How many ranks of autism did they collect so far?
All of them. Your autism attribute is off the charts. The extra dice you roll in autism are 5d20s. So that's how good your autism attribute is.
I'm missing something obvious. I can feel it in my bone.
So do you go to into the pool?
Yes.
Roll me fortitude. The water is incredibly cold, like even to you, cold, colder than it should be. Yeah, even
cold.
It's cold on an essence level. You feel that it is dragging away your essence slowly.
Let's get the fuck out of
And
this
also
fucking...
you take
I'm gonna literally die.
Oh shit, dude! You roll 1d4 damage.
I meet my ancestors tonight, heretic.
Fuck. This is fucked up.
I shall...
Are you dead?
No, I'm not dead. I'm leaving this fucking place. And I shall come back after a week. Or I don't know, as long as it takes me to heal off this shit.
Well, these 9 are not lethal damage, but they won't heal in 10 minutes. Though actually, to be fair, you are a vampire, so they are lethal damage. But it's not difficult to get out of the pool. The pool is probably as deep as you are tall. Um,
God damn. I've literally been killing myself with my own autism.
yeah, you roll out as you roll out of the pool. It is very cold outside still because it's December in Paris, but it's no longer cold, and because you're a vampire, you don't really care.
This is the first time that I've ever taken damage in your sessions. Now, this session. And the only thing that has been consistently damaging me is myself.
Yes, pretty much. Yes.
Amazing.
The crows laugh.
The only thing that can defeat me is me.
Pretty much, yeah.
I am my own worst enemy. Okay. Are you entertained, lovely little birds? Are you having fun?
The birds all nod their heads simultaneously.
I am quite glad. At least someone is having a laugh here.
Yeah. One of the crows hammers its beak onto a specific blood rune on the Adonis figure's shoulder.
Okay, I shall look at it. Can I read it, for example?
Give me learning.
Oh, that does not need the advantage. That did not need to be there.
Well,
that would be an 18.
Yeah. Well, it still works. You recognize this as being the rune, as being a very, very it's not the most common form of it, but it's an odd form of a Norse variation of the blood rune, with which you would activate something by using blood.
I will literally take out a little blood and try to activate it. Would that be something I'm able to do?
Yes.
Would that be an entropy roll?
Well, you can just prick your finger and put that on there, but it probably for doing the blood magic, you should probably roll entropy. Yes.
Oh yeah, so I'll make a little spec fly towards it.
The statue stirs. You feel energy course through the statue a little bit, and there's something. The pool swirls, but this is not quite correct.
Huh.
You feel as though you're definitely on the right path.
The right path. A test. My character will reach the natural conclusion. I shall grasp hard on the homeless guy to incapacitate him by paralyzing his bloodstream.
Okay.
Fuck.
Do
I roll initiative against the homeless guy?
The homeless guy wakes up, startled, and looks at you. And he doesn't seem to know where the fuck he is.
Again. Okay, he's helpless now. Thank God.
Yeah, his basically his blood sort of freezes.
Let's go ahead and do the sensible thing and just be nice and try to make his heart explode. Nope.
His heart beats once, and his blood is now flowing again. And he looks at you very, very afraid.
I will try.
Please, monsieur, no kill, monsieur, please.
I'll just see. Like, Vladimir will quite literally, under his breath, say, for fuck's sakes, he'll kind of tap his chest and say, "This is not me! I looked at the statue and say, this usually does not happen. Okay? It's performance anxiety.
He doesn't understand what you're talking about. It's clear that French is not his first language.
Okay, let's try again.
Please don't kill me, sir.
Now he's paralyzed at the moment. Let's try to make his heart explode again as a focused action. Just die already, old man. Okay, so that's 9 damage.
His whole body shivers and he convulses, and he just then goes limp as blood comes out of his ear holes.
I will literally arrive to him. I'll take off my glove, just push my claw into his chest, remove his freaking heart, and use the heart to splatter it on the statue, on the rune. And at that point I will say, if this doesn't work, then surely I am missing something too important. On the way I shall eat the rest of the blood.
As you take away your hand, what do you mean? Like drink his blood, the rest of his blood?
Yeah, I just manipulated with blood magic directly into.
You can invoke heal then. You do have heal, right?
I do not.
Oh, well then you. Do you have regeneration?
I do not. The only way I have to heal is what is it? It's life drain.
Okay.
Which is the way life drain is that it's a boon that I invoke, and then half the damage that I deal.
Yeah, that you do, then you get it. Yeah. Roll that in boon. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Just roll a d4 that explodes. You roll this much. You heal this much from his blood. It's disgusting. Honestly, like, this is the worst blood you've ever tasted. It's just
no, it's not.
Basically vodka.
Trust me, it's not. Trust me, it's not.
It is absolutely disgusting. But as you take your hand off the statue, where you just put the guy's heart, the heart and the blood you put on the statue goes up in flames and quickly disappears. And you hear the pool shift. It changes. The water moves into a very geometrical shape and forms what appears to be a stairwell made of water to a point that is right underneath the statue.
Vladimir will literally mumble under his mouth. Fucking damn, this goddamn tester, goddamn fucking secrecy, no goddamn pride. Fearful little fucking cowards. And then he'll kind of think about it ironically as he's hiding under his poncho behind a mask and goggles, hiding from the sun. He's like, fuck, they might have a point. And I will go downstairs.
There's a big, as you go down, there's like a concrete arch underneath this statue. And over there is, behind it is a rusty metal door.
I shall knock politely.
A muffled voice answers. Yeah?
I shall say, were you entertained at least?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I am here to acquire your services.
Very well then, do enter. With a loud creak, the door opens, and you are greeted by what you're pretty sure is this man. Yeah, hello, welcome. I am Udo. I am a very special artist. As you probably know, if you've, passed my little trial.
Do I need to kill one of the sheep each time I arrive?
Oh, you have to prove that you're worthy, but if you want, you can just stick your finger in his ass.
There was a nice family on that last floor. 3 people, 3 keys. I might as well.
Well, please, please, please. Do not kill the people who live here. That would draw attention to the place.
Oh, I am joking. Do not worry. I understand.
Of course, of course. Now, my friend, what do you need? He leads you into his studio, which is it's got concrete walls. It's a bit grimy, if you're entirely honest. And the front part of it is not particularly dry, but there's an area. It goes a little downstairs, like a few steps into a larger area that definitely wasn't meant to be a tattoo studio, but it now is one. There's one section that is sort of cordoned off with half-transparent plastic walls, behind which is like a tattoo chair and like a thing where you can lie down, like a table for a tattoo artist, and all the equipment. And the light over there is extremely aggressive. There's an art section where there's a lot of just every dark magic rune that you could possibly imagine is in that particular section of the wall. And there's also another door leading away that says private on it. And there's also like a couch area with like BDSM couches, like leather couches that really don't seem too kosher to you.
I feel right at home.
Well, my friend, as I said, my name is Udo, but if you don't want to tell me my name, it's very normal that my customers don't want to tell me their names. So I will invent a name for you. I will call you Goggles. He points at your goggles.
Let's see. So this individual is obviously a very... I will say, fair enough. Let us begin. There are a few specific things that I want. I believe we can arrange prices and transactions from here on.
Certainly, but what do you need? Please do tell me.
I shall, basically considering that he does look like a professional, I shall simply name out the runes that I need. I shall say, I need a couple special marks. Specifically, I've been thinking of the Mark of Cain.
Ah, yes, the Mark of Cain. Very, very interesting. Haven't done that one for a while, but it's one of my favorites, to be honest.
And also one from the more Atzlan tradition. The Seal of Testaktlipoka.
Oh, yes. Also one of my... I really like it. How the Atzlans... they do things properly artistically. I mean, the Mark of Cain is powerful and all that, but it's not particularly beautiful to look at, is it?
The Lesser Seal is not, but its true form is difficult to properly etch into the skin without completely destroying the individual. Too dangerous.
Very not.
Too dangerous. Too dangerous for me right now.
Well, I could have done it anyway, but... which one do you want first, my friend? Also, I'm afraid you will have to undress, really. Not entirely, you can leave your pants on, but I will be working on many parts of your body, of your upper body, my friend.
Very well. So I shall remove my clothing appropriately, and I will say, I hope you do not have any prejudice.
Ooh, I see what you mean. I see. Well, this changes things a little bit. I'm going to have to use a special needle for you, my friend. Tell me, are you the vampire?
There's more than one out there.
Give me learning.
Ah, fuck that. I need to take off the advantage. That should be a 12.
Yeah, this is a pretty easy roll. You recall having seen in the news that there has been a vampire going around La Défense, and really other parts of northern Paris as well, that Lone Star has failed to catch. You know that this is definitely not you. This thing is... regularly they find caches of like 30 to 40 people all over the place that are completely drained of blood, with like fang marks in their necks. And yeah, Lone Star and the police have completely failed to catch this thing. They're under very, very high pressure to catch it, and nobody has any idea what kind of vampire this could be.
No, not my method. Biting is too risky. Simply draining it out of them is far easier by controlling the flow.
Well, I do find biting to be very erotic, if you know what I mean.
It's only for the deserving.
Now, please do sit down. Please do sit down. For the record, and well, for insurance purposes, I must inform you once again that my name is Udo Kesselmeyer, and I'm a very, very powerful and no longer licensed professional, but you should know that I do know my shit, and I mean this in every single possible sense of me formulating this sentence. Are you alright with me creating and putting magical art on your body? Do you consent to this? This is required for a magical compact to happen.
I shall have one requirement before I agree to this, and I hope that you shall not accept this as an insult. Surely you understand that just the same way that you trust me as a customer to keep secrecy and discretion, you can understand that I as a client need a little bit of guarantee. It is a slight thing, a momentary thing, I assure you. If you will allow me, I can compel you for a short time, and only as long as you do not resist, to compel you to speak the truth. I shall ask you one question and one question only, and that would be to ensure that the runes that you shall etch into me shall not be used to cause me any harm. Unless I decide to cause you harm. In such a way we shall have an understandable relationship, that as long as I do not attempt to cause you any harm, you shall not do the same to me.
Well, that seems fair enough. It's not the first time I've done this. Please do compel me to speak the truth.
Okay. Nope. Let's try again. Or do I just fail? It's up to you. Because it's basically... It's
What's
technically
the
an
matter? Can't keep it up? Get it up, I apologize.
performance anxiety. And I shall concentrate a little bit more, doing it as a focus action.
I've been there, my friend.
Does 22 pass his resolve?
22 does pass his resolve.
So he shall be under the effect of the truthfulness bane. And I shall state that, do you swear an oath to not cause me any harm using your tattoos and runes that you shall etch, as long as I do not cause any onto you?
As long as the tattoos and runes you provide me with are correct and will not inflict pain upon you with no doing of my own, I have no intention of harming you in any way.
Very good. I shall stop what I am doing now. I shall kind of stop inflicting this, and we can begin.
Very well. Please do lay on your belly.
And, yeah.
But actually, before this, let me say, there is the price point to consider. Now, normally, I would have just put these runes on you, But seeing as you seem to be new to Paris, at least I've never heard or seen anything of you before, and well, you are a vampire, and I take very kindly to your kind. You've helped me many times in the past. Let us negotiate the price now.
Very well. So you priced. Do you remember out of character?
I do remember. Yes, I have it written down here.
Yeah. So you marked the Mark of Cain. You wrote as 4,000 New Yen.
And the other seal I said is 3,000.
Yep. So what? You want me to kind of try to haggle for less, or haggle for that price?
That depends on you.
I shall.
He's gonna talk. I will make the seal on you because I need to use a very special needle to penetrate your skin in a way that will not destroy it, but at the same time also be permanent and not be overly regenerated. It will require 5,000 for the Mark of Cain, and because I like you, 4,000 for the seal.
I shall try to do a logic roll to see if he's bullshitting me right now.
Uh-huh.
No, why?
This offer seems perfectly fine to you.
Then yes, I shall agree. I cannot have both at the moment. I shall first take the seal of Tastaktla. Oh god, this word.
Wait, let me try to pronounce it. Tezcatlipoca.
Yes.
The seal of Tezcatlipoca.
Yes. And when I shall have more funds, I shall acquire the rest.
Very well. However you wish, I will put the seal on you. Now do please lie down on your belly, because I need to work on your shoulders, my friend.
Yes, of course. And I shall follow his instructions from here on.
Yeah, it's, the needle that he uses is actually, you haven't felt, this kind of pain in a long time, because, I mean, you're a vampire, and it's not as easy for you to feel pain, but it's... The way this tattoo is put onto your skin, it's not just the sharp cutting and pricking pain of a tattoo, like this sort of heat. But it's also it's a pull. It's a pull of power as he puts the blood of who knows what person he drained for this into you in a powerful magic fashion, as he channels his own magical power into the needle, which acts as a magical focus, and into your skin, and connects that with you. He murmurs incantations from time to time, and hovers his hand over your skin, and that you feel like a prickling sensation, where little lightning bolts hit it, and at the end, this process takes about an hour, and he doesn't talk through any of it. And if you try to initiate conversation, he will not react, because he's very under very great concentration. And
that's how you know it works.
Yeah, that's how you know this is a professional. And at the end of the day, you have a tattoo that goes over both your shoulders, up to the back of your neck, almost to your skull, and along your spine, for like until the height of your kidneys. And now you have this tattoo, and you will pay 4,000 nuyen.
Yes, I will.
You can add it to your equipment.
Yep. The ironic part, I actually have access to the heal boon, but I can't use it on myself because lore reasons.
No, you could. I mean, you could use it on your. So if you have access to the heal boon, you couldn't use it if you drink blood.
Yeah, basically, that would be the only way that I would have access to it.
Yeah, that was
otherwise,
what I wanted to do over earlier.
Yeah, that's what I should have done. I just forgot that I have it through learning.
Uh-huh.
The most illogical boon to have it through.
Okay, no, but I'd be okay under the aspect that you're a vampire and you can.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those weird ones.
Okay. Yeah, you now have this tattoo, and very well. This is. I have to be honest. This is one of my very favorite pieces.
of art that I have ever created. And I must say, I do like your skin to work with. I've always liked the skin of vampires to work with, but yours seems to have a certain maturity, if you know what I mean.
Oh, come on. All of us are a little bit older than what we look.
Yes, but
This is normal.
well, you are quite old. I wouldn't be surprised if you were older than my kind.
There was a time, long ago, when I never thought that magic would be real. But then the world changes, and sometimes you change with it as well, whether you want to or not.
Well, I certainly changed from what I used to be, but I grew up in a world of magic, and I'm very happy about it. I couldn't imagine living in the past, in the world before magic. Ah, how terrible, how absolutely terrible that must have been.
You'd be surprised. It was stable. Yes. Wars, yes, but compared to today, a quiet time.
But also a boring time, I presume. Well, very well. I have other customers to attend to.
Of course. And
I
I
will
will.
open the door for you. Remember, if you wish to come back, just put your finger up the Adonis's ass, and nothing will be required. It'll just work. Okay?
Yep, that seems sensible. And I will leave.
Okay. Yeah. He opens the door for you. You see the stairwell forming once again in the water. You step up, and you are back in Ivry-sur-Seine. And that would conclude this session, unless there is something you absolutely still want to do.
No. I pretty much achieved my objective, though I have to admit this is the sheer amount of self-inflicted damage.
Yeah, that was fucked up, man.
4 HP away from death. 22 points of lethal by
Yeah.
my own hands.
You're gonna take a while to heal this.
Yes.